ballin'. Let me over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right, I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that with an ass back. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed, the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window?
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Marty! You want this? Here we go.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Foles. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week, you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
Good. 180. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? Good. Here you go.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. Call it a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
380. Come on.
Here's Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short, and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
44's to Mike. 44's to Mike. Get 300. Get 300.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And Diggs has it. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A toss to Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A.J. Boye up to make the tackle. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
On 2nd down, Cook. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for, this is what you practice for, this is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Mike,
from the gun. It's Rodgers. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend. Him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact and he'll go deep.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Foles, and that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll return it from the 6. Shreds the tackle. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
They start the drive with Cook. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Calais Campbell on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Let's go, baby.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers going long here for Wallace. This is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Wild, run. Get wild.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Number 50. Hey, you flying over here.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Fournette on the counter. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That second down play nets a -4.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Let's go! 55. Check, 55, Mike. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Go right. Right now. You got 58. Hey, switch gears.
Now Cook. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers setting up the screen for Cook. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
A first down carry for Henry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, Haywood. 44, Mike, 44. Ricky.
On second and 11 now. Rodgers, he's able to find Wallace. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Stop your line. 26. Check.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Open here, Adam Thielen. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Running for it. Here's Kump. And he's got some space here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Rodgers. They set up the screen for Henry. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Rodgers now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's 1st and 10. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 13 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you got a chance to come back to it. When things have changed a little bit, they have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Fournette running out of the gun. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He'll have a first down past the 40. As he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Leg.
Now a run with Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You can't block me. Teammate. Go. 50. No chance. 50's the mark. 50's the mark. I'm coming after you.
Now Rodgers. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
We need 18. 26. Check three. Check 43. Shit.
They'll run on first down. It's Henry. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Rodgers going to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Bailey now for the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by one more. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run with Fournette. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Inside. Hey, zoom. 44 is the mic. 44 is Mike. Check. Man, I got you.
Rodgers now to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
He's checking cracks.
On first down, Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
44 is the mic. 44 is Mike. 30. Hey, high 7. 44, Mike, 44. I got you, boy.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. Left side caught by Diggs.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 23.
Shift.
Cook following the penalty. And an alley to run. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Check 13. Check. Watch safety green.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point try by Bailey. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, They look at this and go, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
Foles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Foles now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now Fournette. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Right now, I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the 4th quarter, but 2nd quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster, try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
Be alert, be alert. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
On the run, it's Fournette. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Taken in at the 11. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the 2nd quarter. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Rodgers. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check the backer, check the backer. Check 37, check 37. Kelly, don't left Kelly.
Cook on the toss left. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. It's taken to the 26. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, exit. Come on, D. Mike 50, Mike 50. Get him, get him. Get him!
Throwing is Rodgers. And Diggs has it. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
Rodgers now still just the one incompletion, 16 of 17. It's 1st down.
44's the Mike, 44's Mike. Check, check. Bravo. 44, Mike, 44. Check Mike, check Mike.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Going for it all. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Jump out! Mike's Bobo. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball.
Rodgers. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Bailey's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This one fielded at the 5. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, once again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, as we'll run you through what's going on both today and later on this weekend. In the 1 o'clock games, one that immediately catches the eye is in our nation's capital. A big test for the Redskins as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. Lots to look forward to in the late games as well. One of the best being up in Seattle, where we find the Seahawks taking on the LA Rams. And lastly, on Sunday Night Football, this will be one to tune in for, as they've got a good one lined up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our players spotlight. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Yo. Back normal. Hey, Alpha. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Football's the mic. Mike's 15.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Let's go.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
44's the mic. 44's the mic. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Jam. Check 4. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Yeah, Liz. Watch it.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Focus, defense, focus. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. No. Off. Check. Crunch. Inside. Crunch. Check 99.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run on first down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Being chased out left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Big stop, let's go. 44, Mike, 44. Hey, I'm coming after you. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 44's the mic.
To throw on 3rd down. Rodgers under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Again, it's Fournette. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now Rodgers setting up the screen for Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all. They actually ran with the lineman to where the play was.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hey, Charlie.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is Cook with a grab. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Here we go, here we go. 20. 55 to Mike. Let's go. Here we go.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A handoff to Fournette. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes, might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And taken right at the 35. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
They'll try to run with Edmonds. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chase Edmonds, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The open man is Westbrook. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 10. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
258. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Complete. Smith has it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Draw play, Edmonds. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hey, orbit.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
319. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check 3, 259. Check. 319.
On 1st down, it's Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Show it up. Get Mike. 319.
They run it again with Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check. Come off the ball. Hey, Mike. 44.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Foles. And now another one thrown incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is fielded at the 7. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He has had a whale of a game. In the third quarter, you're already over 200 yards. I don't know what more he can do at this point.
Not a whole lot, and what he has found is that zone that we always talk about, where every carry feels great. Every carry potentially is a sprint to the end zone, and all he wants to do is ride it as long as this game goes on.
Yeah, now he's just thinking 300 yards maybe. They start the drive with Cook. They find some open field here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
44 is the mic. 44 is Mike. Check, check. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Inside.
44, 44.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We are headed to the fourth here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Now Rodgers. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
That's the way. 50. Here, Mike. Check 26. Chance. Under 10. 10. Check. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Go right.
Derrick Henry. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Push him back. Check 30. Mike's 50. Watch the slack.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Mike's 50. Coming to you.
From the 31, Rodgers. He's able to find Wallace. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Switch. Check.
Right now, you got 58. 44.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down in a few inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Oh, you got deep? Watch
They'll run for it. Cook. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
44's Mike. Smooth. 44, Mike, 44.
Rodgers now to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And this one complete to Smith. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now it's Henry, and he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
Let's go. Let's do this.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Marcel Darius able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Bailey now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And the drive starts with a completion left side. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Foles. And incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw again on second down. Foles. Eric Kendricks. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Switch.
Where'd he go? Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary has played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid, still pitching a shutout. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. Good stop, baby.
Here's Rodgers to throw. A nice little juke. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
What we got?
They'll run on 1st down, Edmonds. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I got you. I got you.
Jaguars, 26-yard line.
44. You ain't going nowhere.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Kill, 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 kill. Kill, kill, kill.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. How about the game that he has compiled here? So he has the 2 receiving touchdowns, and now that is his 3rd rushing touchdown. 3 plus 2, 5 total.
I'm telling you, you and your math can't beat you on that one.
Yeah.
You've got it down. But how about the diversity of the day he's had? Just what you pointed out. 3 on the ground, 2 catching them. What a performance.
What a performance. If I get my numbers and colors down, it's going to be a real threat.
Just always remember, color between the lines.
Bailey got the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Let's go.
And now out come the Jags. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Brings up 3rd and 4. Let's get it. 180. 55. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is brought in at the 21. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Now it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Rodgers. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, Haywood!
44's the mic. 44's the mic. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Football. 319. All day, punt. Kill. Turn up. Keep it down.
On first down, Edmonds. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's checking. Crash. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 31.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Come on, baby.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run.
Let's bring it.
Rodgers now on first down. And Diggs has it. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Draw play. This is Henry. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now a run with Cook, and he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They needed a yard. They got it. First down. This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got them another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Rodgers looking to throw. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Hey, Delta.
Spopo's the Mike. Mike Spopo. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. 44 is the Mike. 44 is Mike. Check. Come for you. 44.
Throwing now is Rodgers. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
Check 24.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion. To throw is Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Vikings, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for our